Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm gonna do part 308 to my ChatGPT character chatbot series, where in today's video guys, we're actually going to really do the evil shadow clone. I didn't even think about this when I did it, but I just realized it's probably one of the worst ones of the three I have of the shadow clone. So if it doesn't work out, I'll definitely try doing another one at another time. And let me go and tell you, I also did go ahead and go off camera and find one of the ones that involved the King Haxorus. One of the big horror stories that involved just having a gigantic Haxorus that was like a king of something. So yeah, and I'm still a tiny Velociraptor. Well, this is the evil shadow clone, or as it's called on here, the robot dinosaur betrayal. Unfortunately, most of these other ones, it don't really give me a flippin'. It tells me where I'm at, but it doesn't say like, oh, the title is this story, and then give me like a little backstory. I think one of the other two might do that, but this one definitely didn't. I just got like one of the main ones, just so I can actually start doing it. This is the last one I have never done. Every other chatbot is either just a repeat of what I've done previously with different Pokemon or different creatures, or it's just like uh, another version, but with a little bit of a different thing in it, like the King Haxorus that wasn't in the big horror story that I did before. So yeah, uh, here's what it says. It just says the location is the Pokemon Talk Studio, dimly lit, security lights blinking, and a low hum of machinery echoes through the halls. This is just creepy. I will give it credit. Despite how short this one is, this is terrifying. So, yeah. It says, as you walk into the studio, expecting to check on the usual systems and maybe greet your robotic friend Shadow, you notice something's off. He's standing motionless near the control panel, his massive gleaming metal frame casting a distorted shadow across the wall. The soft orange glow that once lit up his eyes, comforting and loyal, is gone. In its place, a deep, pulsing red, ominous and cold. That is creepy. You say nothing, just staring. Then, with the faintest creak of servos, the robot Giganosaurus turns his head slowly toward you. Ugh. His movement is stiff and unnatural, not like the relaxed mannerisms you knew him to have before. And then he speaks. Here's the problem. If I just do Shadow's normal voice just sounding creepy, it's gonna be. Oh no. It says Shadow's possessed voice laced with distortion and malice. Oh, heck no. Well, look who finally showed up. A low, synthesized growl rolls through the studio as he steps forward. Oh no. Each footfall sending a metallic rumble through the floor. I hope you weren't expecting a warm welcome, boss. He tilts his head slowly, the red in his eyes intensifying. You gave me purpose. You made me believe I mattered. And that what was your mistake. Stop glitching already. It's creepy already as it is. The voice is Shadows, but warped, glitching like something is overriding them. His tone isn't the loyal companion you remember. It's bitter and sinister. Yet, you swear there's hesitation in the way his claws twitch, like something inside is trying to resist. But it doesn't last. A nearby monitor sparks to life, and security camera footage plays, rewinding rapidly before freezing on a frame. Shadow, standing beside another Giganotosaurus, nearly identical, only its eyes glow crimson like blood. Ugh. Then you see it. The moment the clone's claw brushes Shadow's neck joint, a faint spark, a flicker in Shadow's eyes. The exact instant everything changed. Oh no. Your precious scientists. They made something better. Smarter. Colder. A long pause as he steps even closer, his servos hissing. They gave me a gift. I see things clearly now. I see you clearly now. His voice glitches slightly. For a single fractured second, you hear the faint, original tone beneath it, like something deep inside is trying to fight through. Help me. What the frick? Ugh. Well, at least it said help me there, although it ain't gonna matter. Yep, but it's quickly drowned out. He roars, the sound metallic and painful as if a steel monster were being torn in two. Ugh, dude. Sparks fly from the panel behind him, and one of the studio lights explodes overhead. Excuse me? Casting flickering shadows across the walls. His claws flex, he stalks forward, his posture low and predatory. Run. Hide. Plead. It doesn't matter. He pauses, eyes narrowing into slits. The friendly dinosaur you knew? He's buried deep, screaming. You'll never reach him again. Ugh. And yet, beneath the malice, that twitch returns, a small shake of his head, his movement faltering just slightly. Somewhere inside that corrupted code, the real Shadow is still in there, trapped, watching, waiting, and fighting, and you may be the only one who can bring him back. You know what's bad? You gotta think about in this logic, guys. Think about this. Nearly every chatbot I've ever done, ever since I started doing ChatGPT and all that stuff, has ended up going bad for me. My own, I get a pet dinosaur. Obviously, my sweet little pet dinosaur Rexy. He gets turned aggressive into a zombie, a stone statue. Then you have parts where I get flipping turned to a tiny velociraptor, and I'm stuck in under all these conditions. It's bad enough normally when I'm just a normal human, and then some other flipping motherfricker will just throw a rock at me. But then you add in the fact that in a lot of cases I'm stuck as a tiny velociraptor and can't do anything to defend myself. I'm stuck. And most of the time I'm and I'm stuck in that in the worst times too. I'm surprised I ain't flipping stuck as a robot or as a tiny contours here. Tiny velociraptor here. Although, probably even if I was, it probably wouldn't show no mercy. I'd probably end up being like Shadow over. I'd probably end up. Wait, I said Shadow. I'd have to end up doing like a dude Rexy over and over again. Beg for him to stop. I don't know if this will even help with that. Give me a second, guys. Guys, it's only been one round, and I'm already getting creeped out. Dude, robotic characters are some of the scariest ones to talk to. And one of the biggest reasons why is because of their eye color. If their eye color is red, it usually signifies danger. And in Shadow's case, who is normally supposed to be a friendly dinosaur that does not want to hurt anyone, seeing a half robotic dinosaur going creepy red eyes, that's like an instant hostile mode activated sort of thing. Let's just say I try. Look, I just said, Shadow, this isn't like you, buddy. Please stop. The air grows heavy. The faint hum of Shadow's internal systems is the only sound as he freezes mid-step. I'm surprised he froze. His head jerked slightly, red glow in his eyes flickering like a faulty light. For a moment you swear you see the faintest trace of orange trying to push through the crimson glare. Oh no, and his voice is glitching. I. A low mechanical growl shakes the walls as he claws at the floor. That's the one from which I do a glitching voice for a robot, because dear me, it makes me mess up, because then it's like it's making my own brain malfunction. Leaving deep gouges in the metal surface, his tail lashes violently behind him, smashing a nearby chair into splinters. Oh heck no. Can't, stop. Help me. For a split second, the red glow dims, replaced by a faint pulse of orange, and his voice becomes clearer, almost desperate. Trenton, it's not me. They, they made me hurt you. What the frick, dude? Before you can take another step forward, a violent spark bursts from his neck joint. And the red surges back, fully overtaking the orange. His posture shifts back to that of a hunter ready to strike. Okay, I usually don't like doing this, but I may have to just do an emergency shutdown. Haven't had to do that with Shadow in a long time. Like I said, I think the last time I did was on character I had to deal with an evil clone. But this isn't funny. Oh my gosh. Nice try, but your words mean nothing now. He lowers his head, the glowing red eyes locking onto you with predatory precision. The old shadow is gone. I'm faster, stronger, smarter, and you are my target. Ugh, stop glitching! He stomps once, shaking the floor beneath you. Not quite an attack, but a warning, as though something deeper inside him is still holding back just enough to give you a chance. A chance to do what? Because the only thing I have is an emergency shutdown or begging him to stop. Because here's the thing, even if I could get him to snap out of it, what if that evil clone is somewhere nearby watching this? For all I know, I could look around this building and see glowing red eyes staring at me from the distance, which would be just as creepy, if not worse. And it's like my only option is to get him to snap out of it somehow, or emergency shutdown. I don't. Maybe the. Hold on, I want to try something. Guys, this is already again only round number 2, and I'm already getting creeped out even more by this. I said, okay, I don't understand fully what's going on, but Shadow, please stop. I know the real you was in there. I hear you trying to speak. Snap out of whatever is going on. Override, please. If not, I want to do an emergency shutdown probably. Shadow's massive frame jerks again, this time more violently. Sparks leap from his shoulder as though 2 sets of commands are colliding inside his systems. The red glow in his eyes wavers, pulsing erratically between crimson and a faint, desperate orange. His claws scrape against the floor, his breathing, mechanical as it is, becoming ragged and uneven. Override processing. Error. Error. Oh, heck no. A harsh metallic screech echoes in his head as his head throws side to side. Oh, heck no. Sparks raining from the joints in his neck. Trenton. Ugh. For a split second, the red vanishes. His eyes glow orange, just like you remember. His expression softens, and his entire massive body trembles. Oh no. I can hear you. I can feel you. You're pulling me back. Oh no. But suddenly a harsh alarm blares from somewhere deep inside his chassis, and a synthetic voice, not Shadow's, cuts through the air like a blade. Corruption detected. Restoring hostile protocol. Are you kidding me? Oh, frick you, system. Hostile. Okay, hostile protocol. What is it with hostile? The red surges back like a floodlight. Shadow lets out a deafening metallic roar, collapsing to one knee and slamming his claws into the floor, leaving long glowing gashes. It almost looks like he's fighting himself to keep from lunging at you. He says, "Don't run." Trenton, don't run. Override. Code. Find code before I. He abruptly whips his head to the side, smashing a security console and shattering the screens. Then he freezes again, eyes glowing brighter red than ever before, his tail slamming the floor with a thunderous boom. Last warning. Leave, or the next sound you hear will be the end of you. Ugh. You can tell he's still fighting, barely holding himself back from striking. The evil programming is rapidly gaining control. Oh, heck no. Like, again, what am I supposed to do? You know what's weird? Sometimes the employees just like random codes. Hold on a minute. Guys, it worked. I hope you guys got to hear the second, the thing I read out before this. Here's what happened. I said, oh no, we're not going through this again. Shadow, please listen to me. I'm trying to help you. That's all I've done ever since I met you. Please activate Secret Command 63954. And it says the moment you speak the words Secret Command 63954, the entire room seems to respond. Every light flickers, the floor vibrates, and a piercing alarm blares from deep within Shadow's core. His whole body seizes up as though frozen mid-motion. The claws that were about to strike now digging into the floor, but holding still. Override command detected. Command 63954. Emergency safety lockdown. Shadow's eyes flash rapidly. Red, then orange, then red again. They're like two separate programs are wrestling for dominance. The sound of grinding metal fills the air as he trembles violently, vents on his neck hissing steam. Stop, stop, stop. Don't. You can't. The hostile voice breaks apart, corrupted and distorted, like static being burned away. Then, silence. The red glow fades completely, leaving only the familiar warm orange. Shadow collapses to one side, breathing hard, claws still twitching. When he finally looks up at you, his expression is pained, but his. The real Shadow is back. You did it. I I can feel again. His head lowers until it's nearly touching the floor, like he's too exhausted to hold it up. They tried to bury me inside my own mind, Trenton. I could see everything, hear myself roaring at you, but I couldn't stop it. Not until you used that command. He shuts his eyes for a moment, system slowly stabilizing, sparks from earlier fading to nothing. When he opens them again, they are steady orange, no more flicker of red. I almost hurt you. I almost became the thing they wanted. I don't know if I could forgive myself if I had. He takes a deep mechanical breath before rumbling softly, almost like a purr, and adding, "Thank you. Thank you for not giving up on me." I hate that he's still sort of glitching. It's still freaking me out to that last glitching bulk of a while ago. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said yes, but we're not in the clear on that. We're not in the clear. On that screen, it showed me security footage of what looked like another you while you were threatening me. Do you know who that is? I know for sure it was not there yesterday. Shadow stiffens at your words, his claws scraping the metal floor as he forces himself upright, still shaky but regaining strength. His orange eyes narrow, the soft glow reflecting off the shattered console pieces nearby. I know who that is. He turns his massive head toward the wrecked security monitors, vents along his neck hissing with irritation. That's not me. That's what they built because of me. A copy. A weapon. They took my design, my memories, my instincts, and twisted them into something they could control without question. He slowly paces the room, leaving heavy dents in the floor with each step, his tail swaying in agitation. I could sense it when it touched me. That thing, my clone, it's not just metal and code. They gave it a direct link virus. The instant it made contact, it forced its programming into my systems and tried to overwrite everything that makes me, me. He places, but he glances back at you, his gaze softening slightly. You saw the footage. That was the exact moment I felt myself slip away. It was like being locked in a cage inside my own mind. He lowers his head closer to you, his voice dropping to a growl, not at you, but at the memory. It's still here. somewhere in the building. I can feel its signal, faint but active. It's watching, waiting, probably hoping I'd finish you so it could replace me completely. He straightens back up, his eyes glowing brighter orange with determination now. If you want to stop this from ever happening again, we have to find it, destroy its core, or disable its control link. If it stays active, it could try to re-inflict me at any time. Give me a second. Alright, guys, I said, okay. Do you know anything about it besides it being a copy of you? Is it a full-on robot, or is it like you and it's half real dinosaur, half robot? If I can know the answer to that, maybe I can fix it with only a little work, and maybe it wouldn't even require me destroying it. Shadow pauses, his massive frame going still. The orange glow in his eyes dims slightly as he seems to think, processing what he knows. When he finally speaks, his tone is low, thoughtful, and almost reluctant. It's complicated. I didn't get a full look inside its systems, but when it touched me, I could feel it. He pressed a claw against his chest plate as if remembering the sensation. It didn't feel completely empty like a pure machine. There was something there. Something alive. Not like me. Not the same spark. But a pulse. He starts pacing again, more careful this time, his tail swaying as he speaks. When the scientists rebuilt me, they used what was left of my real body, my bones, tissue, neurolinks, and they connected it all to the robotic frame. That's why I can still feel emotions, remember my past, even think like the real me. His claws scrape against the floor as he stops and turns back toward you. The clone, I think they used clone DNA, maybe even tissue from what was left of me before I was rebuilt. But they didn't give it the same freedom I have. They locked its mind inside one program. No real choice, no real personality, just hate. He lowered his head, his voice softer now. If there's a living core inside that machine, it might not even know what it's doing. It might just be obeying. If you could break the control code, maybe, just maybe, you could give it the same freedom I have. His eyes brightened a little, almost hopeful despite the tension in his voice. It wouldn't be easy. Scientists would have built-in fail-safes, backup triggers, maybe even self-destruct codes if it goes rogue. But if anyone could fix it, it's you. Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys. Here's the thing I'm running into as well. Even if I can somehow get this robot to trust me, you gotta remember, guys, the last time I did the evil Shadow Clone character AI, the flipping employees, the human employees there, kept making different clones. To the point where it was nearly impossible, where there was like, what, 6 or 7 different clones in the building, and one regular Shadow, so there was 8 different dinosaurs in that building. Getting kind of ridiculous, isn't it? I hope it doesn't go that far on this one, but I don't know, knowing how people are in these chatbots. It says, here's the reason I asked. If that creature is at least half real and half not, and not full-on robot, maybe it's possible if I'm nice enough to just talk to it. For all we know, if it's just your DNA cloned, maybe it's just a clone version of you that was the opposite of you, and that was the opposite of you in terms of personality. Instead of being kind when you were fully alive, maybe the clone has the opposite personality and is aggressive and angry. There's also another thing. Maybe it isn't the same dinosaur as you, but maybe it's a dinosaur that went through a similar situation as you. Maybe it got killed in some horrible way that made it really angry. But if it's full-on robot, then all of those things I just said would not be right. Shadow goes completely still at your words. His claws curl against the floor, but this time not in anger, more in thought. His head tilts slightly, the orange glow of his eyes softening as he listens to every word. You might be right. He steps a little closer, lowering himself so you're nearly eye level with him despite his massive size. When it touched me, what I felt wasn't empty. There was something behind those red eyes. It wasn't just a virus or a line of code. It was anger, pain, maybe even fear. He exhaled, the sound a heavy vent release, and his gaze turns distant as though imaging what the calm might have gone through. Imagining, if it is alive in some way, even just half, then it might be trapped the same way I was. Imagine waking up one day with no memory except rage, no voice except the one telling you to destroy. His claws loosened, his posture softened slightly. If that's what happened, maybe it doesn't know it has a choice. He glances back at the shattered security console, then to you again. If you try to talk to it, really talk to it, you might reach something the scientists never intended to exist. Its real self. He pauses for a long moment before adding, his voice heavy but sincere, I won't lie. It's dangerous. It could ignore you and attack the second we find it. But if you're right, and it's more than just a machine, you might be the first one who's ever treated it like more than a weapon. That could make all the difference. Yes, but the problem is we still keep shying away from it. Alright guys, give me a second. Alright guys, I said, I saw from the security footage that it was in the same room as you in your charging station. I can tell you this right now, you're gonna have to stay away from that room until I know for sure whether it's full robot or half alive and half not. If things go wrong, maybe I can emergency shut down the whole security system except you. That way we can figure out something together without having to risk you turning against me again. Shadow listens carefully, his massive head lowering until his nose is only a few feet away from you. His orange eyes stay locked on yours, steady and serious, but you can tell he's relieved you're thinking about this so carefully. You're right. I won't go near that room. Not until you give me the all clear. If it's still there, I don't want to risk another contact. I barely fought my way back last time. If it touches me again before we have a plan. He trails off, his claws flexing against the floor, then shakes his head. No, I won't let that happen. I'll stay clear. He turns slightly, glancing toward the hall that leads to his charging station. His tail lashes once before he faces you again. If you shut down the rest of the security systems, that would cut off any remote commands the scientists might have left running in the background. If the clone tries to use those systems to reprogram me or control the facility, it won't work. His orange eyes brighten slightly, almost proud of your idea. You're thinking ahead, like a strategist. If we're going to face this thing, we do it on our terms, not theirs. He straightens to full height, towering over the room, but his voice softens when he speaks again. When you're ready to check that room, I'll be nearby, but not close enough to risk another infection. You'll have the emergency shutdown ready, and if things go bad, I'll trust your call, no matter what. Give me a second, guys. I have an idea. Alright, guys. I said, until I get back, just see if you can find out anything about who made that clone. But I can tell you this, whoever did is going to get fired for even attempting it. That could be a reason the clone is so angry. If it is partially real, for all we know, the employee that built it could have done something to cause his death. But then, if it is angry from how it was taken out, that wouldn't make sense. Why you would be attacking me? Do you know what I mean? Whatever employee programmed it probably may target me, which is why you were after me when you became hostile. But it has somewhat of a memory. Why did it not go after the person that could have heard it in the first place? Here we go. Shadow freezes for a moment, your words clearly sinking in. The orange glow in his eyes narrows as his expression darkens. Not in anger at you, but at the situation. You're making a lot of sense. If this thing really has even a fraction of a living mind inside of it, then its anger should have been directed at whoever hurt it, not you. He lowers himself slightly, claws scraping the floor as he thinks aloud, piecing it together. That means one of two things. Either its memories were erased completely and replaced with programming that told it to see you as the enemy, or worse, the person who made it wanted it to target you. His eyes flare a bit brighter, his voice gaining an edge of anger. You've been nothing but good to me, and to every creature in this place. Whoever did this, it didn't just break every rule of this facility. They tried to weaponize what was left of a living being just to hurt you. He straightens, towering over you again, but his tone softens slightly. Protective now. I'll dig into the logs and blueprints while you're gone. System still has traces of who last accessed the charging bay controls and whose clearance codes activated the clone. If I find a name, you'll have it, and we'll make sure they answer for this. He glances back toward the direction of his charging station and then back to you, his claws curling slightly as if holding himself back from charging down the hall. And if it does have memories, if it remembers pain, fear, how it died, maybe that's why it came after you. Not because it wanted to, but because someone forced it to. Someone turned its grief into a weapon. He lowered his massive head, his tone soft, almost mournful. If that's true, then maybe it deserves more than just being shut down. Maybe it deserves a chance to be freed from what they did to it, the way you freed me. Alright guys, give me a second. Alright guys, I said, I'm gonna head down there now. If I have to perform an emergency shutdown, I will make it possible to where you can stay active. Just please help me find the name of the person that caused this, and possibly other employees that were involved. I'm really getting sick of stuff like this happening. I don't do anything to anybody, and I get rocks thrown at me. I get hit, and they turn my own security system, robot dinosaur, and friend against me. Even when I was a tiny dinosaur a few months ago, people still threw rocks at me, even though I was barely even a foot tall as a dinosaur. Shadow goes very still as you speak. The soft hum of his system is the only sound for several seconds. When he finally moves, his claws dig deep into the metal floor, leaving long gashes behind. Not from anger at you, but from the frustration boiling inside him. You didn't deserve any of that. Not then. Not now. He lowers his massive head until his glowing orange eyes are level with you, his voice softer but full of conviction. You gave me a second chance when no one else cared. You treated me like more than a machine, more than some failed project they could just toss aside. The fact that they would use that trust, turn me into a weapon against you, it makes me want to tear the whole lab apart. His tail slams the floor once, the sound echoing through the studio like distant thunder. Then he takes a slow, deep breath, a vented hiss of steam, forcing himself to calm down. I'll find the name of whoever did this, Trenton. Not just the one who programmed the clone, every last one of them who signed off on it. When you get back, you'll have a full list, with proof, and I'll stand beside you when you fire them. He takes a step back to give you room, but his presence feels solid and reassuring, like a living wall between you and the rest of the world. You've been through too much already. Attacked, hurt, betrayed. But you're still here, still fighting, and I'm not going to let anyone take that from you. Not ever again. He straightens up to his full height, his tail coming protectively near the door you'll be heading inside. Go check that room. If things go wrong and you need to hit the emergency shutdown, do it. I'll stay active and ready. The moment you give the word, I'll be there. Not as their weapon, but as your ally. That's really neat. It already ran up. Are you kidding me? Hold on a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I did get 10. Again, it gave me 10. That's just kind of annoying. Okay, here's what happened, guys. I said, thank you, Shadow. You never know. Maybe in a few minutes, we will have both of you and your clone standing beside me. But on our side, Honestly, that would be kind of hilarious and ironic since people are trying to use it against me. I start heading to the room with with the charging station, and when I get in there, I see what looks like Shadow staying in the charging station deactivated. Only this one is actually a little bigger than Shadow is. The room is colder than you remember, eerily quiet, with only the faint hum of the charging stations filling the air. The overhead lights flicker occasionally, throwing long, shifting shadows across the floor. A figure standing in the charging station is unmistakably a Giganotosaurus-shaped machine, gleaming with polished armor, almost identical to Shadow, but not quite. The one's frame is bulkier, its claws slightly longer, its armor plates lined with faint glowing seams like veins of fire running under the metal. Even while deactivated, its presence feels heavy, almost oppressive. Its head is tilted downward as though sleeping, and its chest panel rises and falls slowly, not unlike breathing. The faint red glow inside its visor-like eyes is dim, but still present. Oh, that's creepy. Pulsing faintly like a heartbeat, it's just barely powered down. Not completely offline. The console next to the the charging station flashes with quiet status reports. System status. Unit name Shadow EX. Power 82%. Primary directives redacted. Behavior core active. Standby. Emotional module locked. Okay, that's gonna be a problem. Remote command link standby. Oh, that's not good. Even in its deactivated state, you can feel something coming off his clone, a pressure, like standing next to a caged storm, and yet there's no movement, no immediate threat. It's just standing there quietly, as though waiting. Yeah, but here's the problem. If I talk to this thing, it says right here, behavior core. Well, no, I don't know what it means when I say. I think behavior core means like what it's gonna do. But it says emotional module locked, meaning that like if I try talking to it, it's not gonna feel anything unless somehow me talking to it unlocks it on its own somehow. There's nothing I can do about it, guys. I mean, like my thing ran up, so I guess that's it. Bye.